welcome and mahalo, my dearest Brava babies, to this very beautiful transmutation entitled Core Wound Coddling. Please don't. So this Be Brava Live is all about the concept that I came up with in the shower. Hi. Core Wound Coddling. So I'm going to start you off by just evoking a cliche. So we all know the storyline, right, of the artist who's anxiety depressive continuum he can't let go of because he's like, from wherest will my great little folk songs comes? From whomst will my streaming poetry belongs to? If I'm not in the paradigm of alcoholic, oppressive, depressive cycles, right, my cuties? We know the cliche, the John Kerouac, whatever the fucks, all the old guys that these young guys prophesize to be likes, right, cuties? And we're ready to drop that mythos because we look at half of Los Angeles and the sober community fucking killing the scene, like, secretly. Anons. Yeah, like, that's the real QAnons, is like the alcoholics Anons are like running Hollywood. Okay, cuties? The point being, prioritizing mental, spiritual, personal health and well-being actually makes us capable of doing more, not less in the world. We don't have to overcompensate through our art. We can actually just like create from a place of resiliency. So, and yet, and still, we all have our own connection to this idea, this concept, this reality of core wound coddling. So as we work with inner child work, there is this temptation to hold on to pieces that we really can actually utilize the gold from and then move the fuck forward, okay? Take the bag, unpack it, be like, oh, this is a cute little like thong. I'm gonna take it with me to Hawaii and I'm gonna leave the rest at baggage claim. I don't need you, TSA operator, have at it, right, cuties? Like, throw that bag around if it's fun for you guys, because apparently that's what they like to do. Cute, right? So, back in November of 2019, when we first set out to create Providence, and we believed we were going to go there, now we know we're creating it here on Earth, I was downloaded a transmutation from Brava, RIP, renounce all but Brava, idolatrize the vessel, and pack glitter heels and a thong. Clearly she's evolved, and now I'm like in like communally consciousness, and it's not all about me because I've stepped into my higher, okay, cuties? And yet still pack is still light as possible for liberation. So that includes leaving behind the baggage. So core wound coddling, let's look into this. Where in your life do you have a core wound that you have held on to that you're like, oh, but this is what drives me. This is what gets me to do the thing that will make me a great artist, great entrepreneur, great businesswoman, great mom. So my aha came when I was in the shower yesterday. And first I'm just going to offer you this, that in order to locate yours, think about what happened when you were locked down. Lockdown locate, okay? When you were in lockdown mode for the first month, okay, let's say, and they said the whole govs was like, go to your room, and you're like, bitch, you're like a crazy manic episode, and he's like, yes, but I'm still the president, and then everyone else was like, don't listen to him, but go to your room and stay there, right, cuties? So we all had to go to our room. Our weird dad was like acting confusing out in the world, and we were here in our room by ourselves. What showed up? For me, what showed up was like, oh, my stage has been taken away. Get Gabby Bernstein. She like went into depression over this as well. Like, my stage. So, what happened? I decided I would live stream everything. I started doing like weird live streams of me just like being a person. How fucking boring. How fucking like indulge. And yet, and still, this was my core wound showing up because my core wound was about being seen. I need to be on stage because I felt invisible in my home. Okay, cutie, as a child, no one listened to me. I was ignored. Okay, so I had to do things like I would eat dirt and do Al Bundy impressions to get attention. So what brought me to the work of being a performer, a comedian, a person who speaks out loud a lot and does performance and like reveals herself, was a core wound of needing to be seen. Okay, cuties? And yet, and still, what did that produce? It kind of produced like shitty art. Like, just like, why are you like on camera right now? Okay, cuties? once I was able, through this process of core, where we all did such deep personal work, I was able to release that core wound through loving myself on a very deep level through inner child work, which we do together in this community. Actual loving of myself. I no longer need to coddle that little wound and promote that little wound and feed and water that little wound. I can actually drop that at baggage claim. All right, cuties? By loving how? By loving that little girl in me who needs attention. Me loving her, not asking the world to love her. Okay, cuties? And then what happens? It doesn't say, oh, good, now I just stop. Now I lose all the talents I've acquired. No, that's the gold that you keep forever, my cuties. Whatever core wound got you those talents, spoiler alert, she's on sale. You get to keep them. You already paid in full for them, yes, with the trauma. So now you keep them. Those are yours for goods, forever. So no one can take those strengths away from you. And yet, and still, the intention has shifted. So now when I get out alive, it is to lift and shift the populace, Nikki, Show, and Jurek, through my beautiful transmutations that are meant to inspire you and get you to be brava. And I don't no longer come out alive just to be seen purposelessly. Whatever, thesaurus.com. So, my darlings, locate your core wound. What is the thing that, this is a way to find it as well, what is the thing that has historically driven you? Fear of not being seen, fear of not being liked, fear of balloons. So people have fears of balloons. I'm sure that got them to do shit too, right, cuties? You can even watch a Shark Tank and just like, I've never done this before, but it might be a cute exercise. Watch Shark Tank and be like, what core wound are they trying to fulfill right here? From driven to, it's not to becoming a couch potato. Yeah, sure, you might have a mild depression in the interim. That's okay. That's process. Driven to inspo. From a life about being driven like a cattle prong. I used to imagine when I lived in New York City and it was like cold and I hated life, I used to imagine like this was my inspiration / my driver. I would walk down the street visualizing I was being pronged by a cattle prong in order to walk faster. So we're moving from driven to inspo, to being pulled, to being lifted and shifted and driven by inspo. So we're actually being led by, energized by inspiration. Okay, cuties, that is what is beyond coddling of a core wound. And so why are we speaking so much about like all this inner child work right now, all this stepping into our power right now? It is because 2020 might have seemed like the thing, right? 2020 was the trauma. It was the car crash, okay, cuties? We had a manic, fucking crazy dad, which we're still recovering from. Don't get wrong on that. And we were hit in the face by our first ever global pan. Oh my God, we've never lived through a global pan before. None of us have, okay, cuties? It was fucking shock and awe, okay, cuties? Baghdad, fucking shock and awe. Like, George Bush, go learn to paint. Like, we're suffering here, okay, cuties? That was 2020. It was the collision. 2021 is the reckoning and all the shit's coming up. So when I was a child, to give you an analogy, when my parents told me that they were getting divorced, I was like, haha, fun, more presents. I get 2 houses, 2 cars, 2 presents. And everyone looked at me and they were like, I remember all the adults saying, she's gonna need therapy when she's older because she's not dealing with this. Just my mom said that. So she was right? And they should have put me in therapy then. In my house, therapy was used as this like great threat, like, you're crazy, I'm gonna send you to therapy. Meanwhile, they were like, I'm gonna send you to a nice caring woman who's gonna help you survive childhood trauma and abuse. Oh, thank you, please do it now. So don't wait, right, cuties? Don't wait until you're on the floor in a shell, or you're totally out of shape to get a gym membership, or you're malnourished to eat your vitamins. No. Find people that you can speak to and share with and can support you through this process, because 2021 has been called by many who prophesize on the internets the year of the mental breakdown. Or if we are open, aware, spiritually aligned, and strong enough to handle it, it could be the year where you discover so much about yourself and you find the blessing in the breakdown and you grow and shift and lift, as my dear friend, YouTube buddy, would say with his Christ Consciousness Care Bear stare, Matt Kahn. Whatever arises, love that. That's the name of his book. I can't take it. Whatever arises, love that. And then to quote another book title, I can't even remember because bitch doesn't read good. It's from the leadership sphere. What got you here won't get you there. So take the gold from what got you here and then do not coddle those core wounds. Love your inner child and let her be free by loving her so deeply. That's all she wrote. Get at me, Ed Sheeran. I just made a rhyme. Are we over, Taylor? Can you get with me? Okay, darlings. Off to go spread more rhymes and reputation shattering all over the internets. It is your bitch, the one and only Talia Rava, here to make you be brava. So join my retreats. They're the last Fridays of the month. Go to Be-Brava, not Be Brava. If you don't put a dash, you get a toaster company. Can't wait until I can buy them. So be-brava.com, link in my bio. Click Be Brava. It'll take you right there. You'll see the link to sign up for a monthly membership, only $22 a month for access to all retreats, or just come a la carte to my next retreat. This last Friday of the month is platforms. It's all about building, creating our gorgeous platform from core values all the way up to color schemes and websites and all the fucking like. We are moving into sharing our offering on bigger and broader platforms. Okay, darlings, get at me. Also, teach me how to like make this into a Spotify podcast. I need help. Okay, I love you so much. Have beautiful, blessed days. Let me know how this core wound coddling works for you.
Just wanna know that